Hey, precious hearts, welcome to Virtual Journal Therapy with Coach Lean. We are officially back from the Thanksgiving break, and I am happy to be able to be back into your personal space. Today, we'll be reading from The Greatest Self-Talk Part 3 and Day 5. It's learning how to hear myself without judgment. Healing isn't just about forgiving others. It's about learning how to listen to yourself again. For most of my life, I didn't know how to do that. I knew how to push through, how to motivate myself, how to correct my behavior, but not how to hear my own emotions without rushing to judge them. When sadness came, I tried to pray it away. When anger rose, I called it weakness. When exhaustion hit, I labeled it laziness. I mistook my feelings for failures. I had spent so much time trying to be spiritually strong and emotionally perfect that I forgot how to simply be human. But God doesn't ask us to ignore our emotions. He invites us to understand them. I said God doesn't ask us to ignore our emotions. He invites us to understand them. I began realizing that the inner voice I had learned to silence was the very one God wanted to heal. For years, I thought self-awareness meant self-criticism. I thought growth meant constantly pointing out everything I wasn't doing right. But constant correction isn't growth. It's self-abandonment dressed up as a discipline. True healing began when I stopped attacking myself for being in process. I had to learn that feeling something didn't mean I lacked faith. It meant I was still alive. It meant I was paying attention. God never told me to ignore pain. He said cast it on him. But I couldn't cast what I refused to acknowledge. I couldn't surrender what I was too busy condemning. The shift came when I started listening to myself like someone I loved. I began journaling not to fix, but to feel. I stopped trying to get over it and instant asked, what is this motion trying to teach me? I stopped labeling every tear as weakness and started calling it release. When I felt fear, instead of forcing it down, I traced it back to the root and asked God to meet me there. I listened without judgment. Listening without judgment allowed me to uncover hidden beliefs, the quiet lies that had shaped how I saw myself. I started replacing them with truth. I reminded myself that conviction is meant to guide, not shame. And I realized that the same grace I freely preached to others was the grace I needed to extend inward. Learning to hear myself also meant making peace with imperfection. I had to unlearn the habit of trying to be on all the time. There's a holiness in honesty, a sacredness in being real about where you are. Some days I still struggle to trust my own voice, but I've learned that healing isn't linear. Some days you rise, some days you rest. Both are holy. Each time I respond to myself with compassion instead of criticism, something inside heals a little more. It's as if the inner child in me exhales. Relieved that the adult version finally knows how to listen. That's what grace does. It softens the noise of condemnation until love becomes the loudest sound again. Now when I speak to myself, I speak like I'm speaking to someone I believe in. I say you're growing, you're not failing. You're learning and not lost. You're healing and not broken, beyond repair. I said you're healing and you're not broken beyond repair. I remind myself that the goal is not perfection. It's wholeness. Listening to yourself without judgment is a spiritual discipline. It's how you align your inner world with God's truth about you. So today, before you try to be strong, try to be still. Listen to the whisper of your own heart. Let grace translate that guilt. Let grace translate what guilt tried to distort. The voice within you is not your enemy, it's your teacher. And when you learn to hear yourself through love, you begin to live from a healed place, steady, grounded, and free. let's keep pushing because you can do it. I want to give a shout out to Siobhan that sponsored my hair today. I love it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.